So I'm using Lando on a Drupal-based project to manage my Docker containers. One thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to have a better MySQL prompt. So Lando, out of the box, ships with MySQL. You can see it under the commands here. So what this does is it logs you into a MySQL prompt for your container, and then you can start doing database management from here. However, I would love to have better auto-completion and syntax highlighting and things like that. So I'm actually going to try to add the MyCLI project to my Lando-based environment. The way I do that is it's a standard Drupal site, Drupal 8 site using Composer, and I would really want to start by editing the .lando.yaml file. So this is where you basically determine what tools are installed onto your site, and you also can show what services are available using external Lando commands. So tooling will allow us to add something there. So on our database container, we want to run this as root, and then we want to add some commands here. We need to apt get update our package manager so we can get the most recent packages, and then we want to install several dependencies. So we'll do an apt get install less, which will allow us to have a different paged output for our MySQL prompt, Python pip, and Python setup tools, which will allow us to install MyCLI. And then we'll just pass the yes flag to this. And finally, we'll just run a pip install MyCLI to get that package. So we're getting pip up here, and then we're using pip to install MyCLI down here. So assuming that all installs correctly, we can come down here and we can actually even add a service for MyCLI. So basically, you would name it MyCLI. The service that we want to use is the database container. So, we have a node container for some of our front end tools, and we also have an app server for Drupal and our web server, but we want to use our database server here. We can optionally add a description. Say something like opens a MyCLI prompt inside DB container. And then we just add the command that is actually supposed to be run. So in this case, we want to open MyCLI. And we can start like that for now, but this is actually not going to be enough. We really want to pass a username and a password here. So let's just save this for now, and we'll get that information. So if we look at Lando, we still don't have anything here. So let's stop the container and start it up again. So let's Lando stop. Let's Lando start. So you can see it installing MyCLI there. Just installed the Python setup tools above that. Okay, so our container's back up here, and now if we check out Lando, we now have the MyCLI command that we added in the tooling section of our Lando file. And so if we were to try to run this, we're probably going to hit a little bit of trouble. So MyCLI Lando, it's trying to look for a password here, but you can enter whatever. It's not going to work because it's using the wrong user here anyway. So what you really need to do is you need to just take a look at your settings file in your Drupal project. So web, sites, default, settings.php. So if you look in here, and actually I think in mine it's actually being settings.local.php. And we're using default Lando stuff here. So for our local site, we just have a username and a password of Drupal 8. So let's go back to our .lando file, and let's just add this information right here to the actual command. So user, uflag, Drupal 8, P for password, Drupal 8. And then if we come in here and we save this now, and we do a Lando restart, this should log us in correctly with syntax highlighting. Okay, so we got a message here. There's a newer version of NPM, it looks like. But let's try this again. So we look at Lando here. We look at our MyCLI command. So Lando, MyCLI. If we run that now, it puts us right into a prompt. Great. So now we can start using autocompletion, which is nice. And it knows our databases, which is really cool. It has the syntax highlighting, and we could, show tables. We have a nice paged output here. There's something weird going on with prompt. I'll do another video about how to fix that. But for now, you can kind of see that you can run through and do a bunch of commands, and it knows your tables, so you can actually go through and start cycling through, and it makes it a lot easier to kind of deal with your MySQL database than the standard MySQL prompt does that you get with Lando out of the box. Hopefully that helps you out. Thanks for watching the video.